Today's the last video I'm going to do um, in order to promote this book sale, and I wanted to discuss with you what it's like to have this change in my life. Basically becoming this author and selling these books, and the journey that I've gone on in doing so. Firstly, when it was first published and I had my first copy to check, you cannot imagine the feeling of satisfaction to hold that book that you've written, to hold that in your hands for the first time ever. It was just an unforgettable time and an unforgettable experience. I loved it, absolutely loved it. But it wasn't an easy process. It definitely wasn't an easy process in terms of getting the book produced. Writing it was almost the easy part, even though it took the longest. Editing it was a bit of a tricky ordeal, and it wasn't that creative side that I enjoy. It was quite a laborious task, but needed, so I had the discipline to do it. But the aspect of changing people's names, because obviously being an autobiography, I was asked to change people's names, places in the book, as a copyright thing, as for libel rather than copyright, I should say. I was asked to change where I came from and places, but ultimately I couldn't change the fact that I came from Cardiff and the places I lived. I had to keep that, and I fought hard to keep that. But it was an incredible process nonetheless, and one which, if you're an author out there, a budding author, I would definitely advise you to go this route. It really is quite an incredible journey of self-discovery. Yes, so to hold that book in my hands for the first time was quite an achievement. I would say this book, the production of this book, has made a massive change to my life. I have a product. It'll be there forever. My children have read it. They know who I am more now. Although they're giving me more lip as a result, because they know my deepest, darkest secrets. So maybe not such a good thing. But it has made a great change to my life. I can call myself an author. That's an incredible thing. I've been in the world of engineering and engineer for all my life, 25 years. I've done that. But now I can call myself an author. And it's through putting a plan together. It's through listening to your heart and your intuition, putting one step ahead of each other and just plodding along and keeping on going. It's been a great time, really has. And for those of you who've already bought the book, I mentioned part 2 in a previous video. Now part 1 has already been done. It's there, it's out there. It's called The Swallow's Tale, The Early Years by Liam O'Connor. Now, a bit of explanation needed here. Due to the libel process and as a request from the publishers, I had to change my name from Chris Hurley, as it is, to Liam O'Connor. O'Connor because I wanted to keep the Irish theme, Liam because that is a particularly pertinent and meaningful name in my life, which you'll understand when you read the book. But I had to change my name. I didn't really want to be fair, but I had to do that, and as a result, the book is now out there. But for you people who've bought the book already and are wondering, so what happens next? Well, within 2018, the second half has already been written, and the reason it's already been written is because I wrote the whole thing as one anyway. It took me 2 years to download my whole life story from being born right up until current day, and it turned out to be a mega volume. It was a huge book, and I felt a bit self-conscious of it being a massive volume book, so I thought it would be best to break it down into 2 to make it more digestible, and also to leave you in part 1 on a bit of a cliffhanger as to what happens next. So part 1's done, and those of you who've read it, I hope you've enjoyed it, but you must be wondering, well, what happens next? What happens next is in part 2, and that's when it really gets interesting. That's when part 2 gave me the real motivation to write this book in the first place, because it was such an incredible story. The way I met my current wife, my beautiful wife, how that came about is a story that should be in a Hollywood film. And in fact, if it was in a film, you kind of wouldn't believe it, to think that it seems a bit far-fetched, but it is all true. It is all true, and I've got the scars to prove it. So in 2018, what does that hold for us, for me? I want to get this second book going. It'll be available within the first half of 2018. So for you guys who've already bought the book, that's when it'll be out, within the first 6 months of 2018. And I hope to give up my job in 2018 and focus entirely on being a published author and a freelance journalist. I'm studying freelance journalism. That's what I love. I love my sports, and that's the industry I want to be in. And that is my dream. But the biggest thing for us, the biggest thing for us this year, and it cannot be underestimated, is our home. We're currently renting our beautiful home, yeah. Even though I talk about how wonderful things are and being an author and all this, at the end of the day, we don't own this home, and it is about to be sold. We've been here 10 months now as I speak, and the owner of it passed away and is about to sell it. I cannot face moving our family from this home. So part of this book launch is actually to raise funds as well. My aim and my goal is to raise £350,000, which means 35,000 copies of this book. 35,000 copies, that's a lot of books, but I believe I can do it. And with your help, and with you spreading the word, I hope you can get me across the line to do that. The book is available now. The first book is available. It's called The Swallow's Tale, The Early Years, and I'll just show a sample of the hard copy I've got here. The hard copy you can buy for £24.95, £24.95 on Amazon or any good website. The paperback, that is available for £13.95, and also the Kindle version, that is available too for £3.99. So buy the book. It'll make a difference to your life. It really will. And I'd love to see you in the second half of the book, and I'd love to get your feedback as to how you enjoyed it. For now, I bid you goodbye, and best of luck for 2018, everybody.